Today, I'm joined by Natalie Nielsen. Natalie has worked in numerous organisations in a variety of technology roles over the last 20 years. Most recently, as a programme director at Barclays, where she leads global teams to deliver large transformation projects. She believes that self-leadership is the key to a happy and successful career. And she is so passionate about sharing her insights to help others. So, Natalie, it's amazing to have you here today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Rachel. An absolute pleasure to be here.
I wondered if you could start off by sharing a little bit about your background and your story with us, Natalie.
Yeah, of course I can. So, exactly as you said, I work for Barclays Corporate Bank. My role is a program director. A number of you will all have bank accounts, and you'll check your bank accounts maybe on an app, and you will make payments, you'll transfer money. Everything that sits behind that capability is basically what I build. So I build all of the technology, the infrastructure, and I work with a global team of incredible people that helped me to do that. I mean, when I look back, probably to when I was, similar to some of your ages, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I think, I went to university, and straight from there, I joined a local call centre. Again, it was a retail centre at a local bank. And from there, really, it was just putting my hand up to do additional things, learning, seeking new opportunities, taking some risks. And all the way along that, I had an incredible, number of mentors and sponsors that sometimes believed in me before I even believed in myself.
Amazing. So interesting to hear about your role, and you've been on a bit of a journey yourself when it comes to, believing in yourself. And at Ivy House, we talk a lot about limiting beliefs. Can you tell us a little bit about what a limiting belief actually is?
Yeah, so at its simplest form, for me, a limiting belief is a belief that basically limits or stops us from achieving what we want to achieve. Instead of being open and curious to new people, you become closed and guarded, and therefore it's more difficult for people to make, strong relationships with you. So I think, that for me is how something happens, and then it's reinforced over time, and it genuinely can stop you from becoming the person that you're meant to become if you allow it to.
Yeah. And how have limiting beliefs shown up for you personally?
Probably the one that was the most destructive was I'm not intelligent, or I'm not clever enough. So I grew up in Africa, and we moved back to the UK when I was 10, and we'd only be back in the country a few months, and I did my 11 plus and I failed my 11 plus. And my brother and sister, who are a few years younger than me, both did and passed their 11 plus. And so from quite a young age, I had this idea that I wasn't as intelligent as my siblings, and therefore maybe I wasn't as intelligent as other people. And so I think that's something that definitely held me back for a while before I actually even realised it was a limiting belief and there was something I could do about it.
Yeah. And lots of people would assume that, you're a woman who's been hugely successful in her career, and you must be super confident in yourself. Is that true?
The way that I look at confidence is it's a muscle that we need to work. And the more that we do something, the more comfortable and the better we become at it, the more confident we become. Even now, yesterday, I had 3 really difficult, challenging meetings, and I was really nervous beforehand. I didn't know what to expect, but I know that for me, preparation is key. So I prepared, I had the sessions, they went really well. And at the end of the day, not only was I proud of myself in terms of what I'd achieved, but I knew that next time I had to go into those situations, I'd know what to expect. I understood the people, and I knew how things were going to play out. And that automatically is going to help me feel more confident the next time round. So it really is an ongoing journey. But when you push and persevere and step out your comfort zone, you absolutely will get there.
Brilliant. I think that's such useful advice for students to hear, especially. And are there any other ways that you have overcome these self-limiting beliefs, or any other advice that you would want to share around that?
For me personally, the idea that I wasn't particularly clever enough, that's a limiting belief for me. Looking to overcome that all comes down to awareness. So first thing is I had to be aware that was something that was holding me back. And also to know that actually it's just a thought. It's not a fact. I think the second thing is knowing that we can choose. If we know that these are only beliefs and thoughts, we can choose how much power we want to give those beliefs in holding us back. And then I think the other thing, in terms of overcoming these, and advice I would give is be aware of how you talk to yourself. I think this is so, so important. So, I always in my head, I always used to say, I'll never understand. Like, I don't, I'm not gonna get that. I don't want to speak up in case people think I don't know, what that person's talking about. And now it's changed. And now I say to myself, do you know what? With time, I'll figure it out. Or I'll say, I don't understand yet. And even that mental shift gives you confidence and starts to make you realise that you can take control and overcome these limiting beliefs.
I love that. I don't understand yet. I think I will be taking that piece of advice for sure.
I do that even to today. I really do, and it's so helpful.
And as part of your role, you've mentored and also supported lots of other women in their own career journeys. What are the most common limiting beliefs that you come across? And do you find that this is something that plays out for everyone?
Yeah, it genuinely is. And to be honest, I mentor men and women, and it's the same thing that comes out for both. Self-doubt, lack of confidence, imposter syndrome. This exercise that I do with some of my mentors that might be useful is literally just listing down every single negative thought that someone has. So dig really deep. So, what your fears, insecurities, what makes you stressed. And then next to that, try to write a positive thought. So if, for example, you get stressed about work, think about how it might be helping people. If you are insecure about your skills, write down how much you've improved. And the entire point of doing this is it shifts perspective, and your mind will start to remember the positives. And really, it's just all about balancing your thoughts.
Definitely. And that was actually my next question, was what advice would you give to young people who have limiting beliefs? And particularly, I guess, worries about what they can achieve. So I don't know if there's anything else you'd add to that, Natalie.
I think just probably a couple of things. I think the first thing is understanding what those limiting beliefs are. I think, you can't overcome something unless you can articulate what it is. I think that's the first thing. And then I think the second point goes back to choice. You can choose how you want or will allow these beliefs to hold you back. I know every single person has got the most incredible potential within them. And oftentimes the only thing that sets people apart genuinely is how much they allow those limiting beliefs to hold them back. I think, there's always the option to push through, and trust me, pushing through is hard and it is scary and it's uncomfortable. The more you do it, you will genuinely start to change the way that you feel about yourself.
Brilliant. And the last question's a bit of a big one, Natalie, but how do young people stop these limiting beliefs from holding them back?
So the only thing I can finally say is beliefs are only thoughts. That's all that they are. They're not based on anything other than our perception of reality. And I think the other thing that's so reassuring to know is that every single person has them. The people that look the most confident, the people that are the funniest, that we think are the cleverest, everybody has these thoughts. It's just down to you, the choice that you make, how much you're willing to let them hold you back.